This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Oop, I was muted. Hey, y'all. Why is it doing this? Stop it. Stop it right now. Good to see y'all. I see Joy is in. Bad Girl, Abellis, Jenny Jen, Curious Christine, Miss Sarah is here. Cindy is here, and Cindy gifted 5 Speculation Station memberships. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to try to access the live so I can see who they went to. Okay. Those went to Mocha Meadow Ma, Kelly Holm, Monica, Sir is used Serious Gems, and Victorine. Thank you so much, Cindy, from sunny South Florida. If you were gifted from Cindy and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Cindy thank you, and I will grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to a Speculation Station. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I saw that. Oh my goodness, Abellis gifted 20, and then Sarah gifted 5. And now here comes Cara with 10. Good Lord. I'm not going to be able to read all those names out. Oh my goodness. Y'all are just dropping memberships. Goodness gracious. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. Wow. That is amazing. Thank you. So I'm going to play the Polar Express for Abellis, and then Crazy Train for Sarah, and then Polar Express for Cara. Thank you so much for that. Oh my goodness. That was so sweet. Oh my goodness, and Amanda come in gifting some too. Good gracious, thank y'all so much. Miss Sarah, I'm gonna play Crazy Train for you. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. And Abellis, I'm gonna play Polar Express for you. Thank you. And Amanda, I'm going to play Crazy Train for you. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you guys so much. What a wonderful way to start the show today, especially considering I unfortunately won't be able to make it tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow because my daughter graduates. That was so very sweet of y'all. I really appreciate it. You're funny, Amanda. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The Real Gemini says, to unlock membership gifts, does the thing have to be black or cleared? Anyone? I know Cara knows how to turn membership gifting on. I'm not sure, honestly, because I don't have mine on. Thank you all. Thank you for saying congrats. I appreciate that. Hey to everybody else coming in. I see that Southern Cats is here, and the Real Gemini, and Amanda, occasionally Classy. Thank y'all for being here. I won't continue scrolling all the way up. Red Moon, I saw One Sunny Day was here. I'm so glad y'all are here, and so glad to see y'all today. We have a lot to discuss. Oh my goodness. Please click that link for memberships. This link right here that she just dropped. Thank you, Cara. I appreciate that. Thank you, Aname. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I'm really proud of her. She's doing so good. She's starting college classes in the summer. So I'm extremely proud of her. She's my oldest. She'll be 18 in July. I can't believe it. Oh my God. She's getting so big. When I Oh, Amanda, thank you for becoming a member. I'll grab you with the crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so much, Amanda. That was so awesome of you. And there's another link from Cara. Mine ran out. Okay. One sunny day. Yeah, when I was she was my first. When I was pregnant with her, they had just started showing like online. You could see what the baby did at every day throughout the pregnancy, and I printed out every single page, and I had this whole book that showed everything that was happening the whole 9 months. I was just, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love this community too. She said, "Does the button have to be black or cleared, like turned on or turned off?" I'm guessing. Thank you, Katie. Good to see you. Fawny, good to see you. I love this community as well. Y'all are so amazing. I do have a quick update, real quick. Okay, I think. Let me check. Well, we're just gonna have to go ahead and do it. Okay, hold on just a minute. I do have a quick update in the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. It's a very short video, but I'm still not going to play all of it. I'm just going to play what the update is. And then we're going to talk about Harmony. So, Rubber Ramada sent this to Hio, and Hio sent this to me like 30 minutes before we came live. So, I went ahead and did a video real quick on it. The video is literally 4 minutes long, but I wanted to provide you guys the update real quick. So, we'll look at this real quick. Hey, y'all, I have some updates in the Jack and Lily Sullivan case I wanted to share with you real quick. It comes from this article. This is from CTV News, and it reads, "Missing Nova Scotia children were seen day before disappearance, said police." And the picture is Jack and Lily Sullivan. Jack is 4, Lily is 6. They have been missing since May 2nd near Gerlach Road in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia. Jack is believed to be wearing blue dinosaur boots. Lily was believed to be wearing a pink sweater, pink pants, and pink boots. The article reads, "Police have confirmed 2 children who disappeared in rural Nova Scotia almost 4 weeks ago were seen with family the day before they were reported missing. It is believed that Lily Sullivan, 6, and Jack Sullivan, 4, wandered away from their home on Gerlach Road in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, the morning of May 2nd. The RCMP confirmed Wednesday investigators have collected hours of video from the area, and they are now asking the public for additional footage. Quote, "Based on the details we've gathered so far, we've confirmed that Lily and Jack were observed in public with family members on the afternoon of May 1st, unquote, said Corporal Sandy with the Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crime Unit in a Wednesday news release. Quote, "We are now asking anyone who has dash cam footage or video along Gerlach Road between 12 p.m. on April 28th and 12 p.m. on May 2nd to contact us," unquote. So that's pretty much the update. I can't stand to hear my voice. Phew, I can't wait. I feel like, I don't know. I don't like how loud that is. I feel like I need to redo it. But anyway, let's talk about, that's the update. They were seen the day before they went missing out in public. So that gives us a better timeline because before we got that update, the last thing we knew was that they had been seen Tuesday when the bus driver dropped them off at the end of the driveway, and that was the last we had heard about it. So I was glad to get that update that they had been seen in public by somebody at the store, probably. You got a good voice. Mine is raspy because I smoke, but on the 23rd of June, I have to have surgery and I'm going to have to stop smoking. So I'm hoping that I just quit at that point. Hopefully, I don't gain a bunch of weight, but if I do, it's better than smoking. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to show you guys. So I don't know if you guys remember the Harmony Montgomery case. I'm going to start with this document. I don't want to read all of it, but like it explains everything kind of. It gives us a very good timeline of how things happen. Oh man, this case, I'm reading these documents, and it's gonna be hard to hear, very triggering. So if you need to leave, trust me, I get it. So Harmony Montgomery, well, actually, we're gonna start with this video. I think it's this one. Hold on. This gives us an outline. So yeah, I changed my mind. We're gonna start with this video, and then we'll read the document, because this will give us, I think, a better timeline. This is when she first went missing, or right when the police got involved.
What a difference a day makes. Exactly 24 hours ago on this very show, I was sharing some pretty outrageous details about a 7-year-old girl named Harmony Montgomery and her mysterious disappearance. Police reported her missing for the first time just this past weekend, even though she has not been seen in public for more than 2 years. Many of you shared my outrage that nobody in her life, including her parents, seemed all that worried that she'd been missing all that time, or that law enforcement was sharing almost no information. Well, all that has changed drastically. Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, is now officially under arrest and facing several charges in connection to Harmony's well-being and her whereabouts. And while, yes, that is progress, the biggest question is still unanswered. Where is Harmony Montgomery tonight? Even though the heavily redacted court documents reveal
She's still missing. It was confirmed that Adam did commit Adam, her father, killed her, but he won't tell where her body is. I don't think he'll ever tell, honestly.
several new details about that little girl's life and the investigation into her father. Harmony's still nowhere to be seen. Here's what the police say they do know. On November 18th, 2021, Harmony's mother, Crystal Sorey, contacted the Manchester police and said,
Now, this stream is kind of focusing on what Crystal did, what her mother did. Her mother was just awarded $2.5 million from the state. And we're going to basically go through the timeline. We're going to talk about what happened. We're going to kind of highlight what Crystal did in this case. And then we're going to talk about why she was awarded the money and her state of mind right now, her mentality, what I can tell by what she posts. I don't, I have questions. I have concerns because she was, people say, a lot of people talk about the fact that she was an addict. If she is clean now, I hope to God that she puts this money that she got up and doesn't use it to go get high. I'm concerned about her mental state personally. If she is actually 100% sober, I don't really want to go down that route, but we're just going to kind of see where the stream takes us. But going back to the original thought process, because I have a monkey brain, I wanted to kind of highlight what Crystal did real quick, and I want us to pay attention to what she's going to say when she brings up this timeline of events real quick.
Scene. Here's what the police say they do know. On November 18th, 2021, Harmony's mother, Crystal Sorey, contacted the Manchester police and said she had not seen her daughter for 6 months. Remember that timeline. She said her ex, Adam Montgomery, had custody of Harmony, but said she couldn't locate him or her daughter, who at that point was just 5 years old. That's when police asked the Division of Children, Youth, and Families to help find that father. And more than a month later, on December 27th, just a week ago, Family Services told police they could not find that father, Adam Montgomery, nor could they find Harmony. That is also when Harmony's mom slipped to police that she hadn't been completely honest when she told them it had only been 6 months since she last saw her daughter. Instead, she coughed up the fact that it had been closer to 3 years since she had laid eyes on her little girl last.
Now, that's important. First, she's telling police, I can't find my child. My child is missing. I can't get up with the father. I need help. And first you say you saw her 6 months ago, which is an important fact. And so the police are going on, okay, well, she was at least seen 6 months ago. And so they're only going back that far when they're looking for information, talking to witnesses, trying to locate this child and trying to figure out what could have happened in a 6 month time period. And then they find out it hasn't been 6 months, it's been 3 years. 3 years. I understand the fact that she was an addict and she was lost. I call it lost, okay? I call it down the rabbit hole, lost, not in a good way, okay? So that's my terminology I use. I was lost. I've been lost. I get that she was lost, but to go 3 years without laying eyes on your children, I'll never understand that. I know people do. I didn't. I didn't. I called my children. I talked to my children. I did what I had to do to see them. I mean, I should have gotten, off of the substances sooner than I did, but thank God that I did eventually. Anyway, telling the police that it's been 6 months and then coughing up that it's been 3 years since you've seen your child, like that's worrisome to begin with. You let her go there for 3 whole years and had no contact with her. I don't like that. So now we're going to talk about what is in this filing. We know that the mother reported her missing, trying to locate her. She at first said that it had been 6 months since she had seen Harmony, and then she was accurate when she said it actually been 3 years. So let's talk about this document. Hold on just a minute. Okay. So this document is very long, but it gives us the complete timeline of events. And DCYF, which is what it's called in New Hampshire, really did mess this case up really bad. Like, I understand why she was awarded the money, but I'm real concerned about her mental state. Oh, thank you, Red Moon. I'm not. I shouldn't have done what I had been doing, and I should have got my shit together before I did. But we we get better, and things do change. Thank God. Oh God, you couldn't pay me money to go back and live that life no more. God Almighty. One of the panels I've been up on is because I'm shy, but oh yeah, you did come up here. I love it when you come up. Thank you, Janie. I'm glad that you're okay too. The reporter says, what? I don't know what you were talking about. Okay. 16 years. I was 9 years in February. Almost 10. I think it's like 10. It's been since me and Mr. Speculating got together, because when I moved in with him after we had been together for a little while, he said, if you abuse substances, that'll be the day you leave. And I never did. Still haven't. Because he was like, you're not going to have that around my kids. It's not going to happen. You'll have to leave. Hey, Ellen. Me too. Okay. Yes, please remember to hit that like button. I do appreciate it. And we're going to talk about this. This gives us a detailed timeline of events. I might not be able to see all the comments because I'm reading this document. So we're going to go to factual allegations. And it starts, Harmony was born June 7, 2014 to Crystal and Adam Montgomery, hereinafter Adam. On information and belief at the time of Harmony's birth, Adam was in prison in Massachusetts, where he remained until September of 2015, at which time he moved to New Hampshire. Between her birth and February 2019, Harmony resided with Crystal. So until February of 2019, she's with Crystal, okay, with the mom. Number 9 says, on information and belief during that time, Harmony was living in Massachusetts. The Massachusetts Department of Children and Families, hereinafter Mass DCF, removed Harmony from the home due to allegations of neglect, and Harmony was placed in foster care. So Crystal lost Harmony as well while she was lost. Number 10, on or about December 19, 2018, Massachusetts DCF, pursuant to the Interstate Compact for Placement of Children, hereinafter ICPC, requested that DCYF perform a home study on Adam. On information and belief, the Massachusetts DCF was seeking the home study preparatory to placing Harmony with Adam and his wife, Kayla Montgomery, hereinafter as Kayla, who were living in Manchester, New Hampshire. On information and belief, on or about December 20th, 2018, DCYF sent an email to the Massachusetts DCF seeking additional information prior to conducting a home study. Number 12, on information and belief, despite the fact that DCYF did not receive the requested information, DCYF failed to follow up with the Massachusetts DCF to determine whether such additional information was forthcoming and or to determine whether Massachusetts DCF was continuing with its plans to place Harmony in Adam's Manchester, New Hampshire home. On or about February 22nd of 2019, a Massachusetts court awarded custody of Harmony to Adam. Now, at this point, Adam gets custody of Harmony in February 22nd of 2019, despite, hey, Allie, good to see you. Hey, Joy. Despite them it's already messing up. They said that DCYF failed to follow up with Massachusetts DCF to determine whether such information was forthcoming and or to determine whether Massachusetts was continuing with its plans. So they're already messing it up, okay? We're going to continue on to number 14. On information and belief, shortly after Adam was awarded custody of Harmony, Harmony moved into Adam's home in Manchester, New Hampshire. At this time, Adam's household consisted of his wife Kayla and Adam and Kayla's two sons, 2-year-old SM and infant DM. So they're going to be known by their nicknames. Let me scroll it down so you can see. I don't mean to stutter. There's like a total of over 200 that we could read through if y'all want to. I'm going to keep going, but you're going to get a good idea of how this lawsuit was even possible, what happened. I mean, this is the most comprehensive timeline of what happened that I've ever seen. So I felt it's important. Okay, number 15. On information and belief, the house in which Adam and his family were living was owned by his grandmother, Helen Montgomery, hereinafter as Helen. Number 16. On information and belief, when someone calls DCYF to report suspected abuse or neglect of a child, that call is made to, quote, central intake. So what happens is somebody will call, they will tell them what's going on. Then it goes, that initial phone call that somebody makes to say, hey, I saw this, this, and this, I think this child is being abused, goes to central intake, and then from there, a social worker will be assigned to the case. I tried to skim through it and get what was important, so we're going to skip to 19. From the time Harmony was in Adam's care in New Hampshire, Crystal relied on DCYF to comply with its statutory duties to protect Harmony from abuse and neglect. Given that Harmony was in Adam's care in New Hampshire, Crystal had no means of knowing that Harmony was being abused and neglected as the result of DCYF's negligence. Now, I do have an issue with that. I put it in the description box, but I don't know if I said it. I got some of this. Basically, I saw that Alex Erickson had talked about this, and I got some of my information from her live. Excuse me, I don't want to cough in y'all's ear. Gracious. Hey, Kalisa Cats and AM. Goodness. Oh, okay. Thought process. Allie X, I got a lot of this information from Allie X. And Allie X had said that the mother, Crystal, had wanted Harmony placed with Adam, and she suspected that it was so that she could possibly see Harmony more often. I don't know. My issue with number 19 is that, Crystal relied on DCYF to comply with its statutory duties to protect Harmony from abuse and neglect. Why are we relying on a government agency to protect the child? I mean, they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but we should also rely on ourselves and, knowing the person the child is with. Like, that's who you should be relying on to protect the children. You know what I mean? She does. She'll have herself to blame. Oh, no. I honestly can't believe she got money. She will mishandle it, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I'm thinking that that's a possibility too. And we're going to talk about that towards the end. Okay. So, yeah, we should be relying on ourselves and knowing the person the child is with, because her son, Jameson, which is Harmony's little brother, was placed with his adoptive family, which is two men, and I think they're like in politics or something. They're married. Jameson is so happy there. He's thriving. He's doing so good. And during for a short period of time, Harmony was there. I mean, like, you knew that was a good place for Harmony to go. And if I remember correctly, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't want Harmony to go there, even though she had been there for a short period of time, and they wanted to adopt Harmony. I'll have to pull up their interview. I believe in their interview they said they wanted to adopt Harmony, but she got her back, or she went to Adam instead of staying there with her little brother where she would have been safe. I'm praying she'll put it to good use, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't even know how mature I'd be about spending the money. Not blaming Crystal at all, just stating facts. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, on frivolous shit, and I'm concerned about that. Hey, Shaker Maker. Yeah, I hope she don't. I'm concerned about that because her Facebook posts are just so immature, in my opinion. She's not in the right headspace. I feel like you could take money and donate it to a cause or something, put some in a trust fund. I don't know. I've got concerns. But I'm reading this to show you that she was legit in her lawsuit. Like, I mean, this is some BS. So I'm going to continue reading. We're at number 21, because like I said, I tried to kind of skim through as much as I could. Pursuant to RSA 169C34.2, for each report it receives, DCYF must perform a child protective investigation to, among other things, quote, determine whether there is probable cause to believe that any child in the family is abused or neglected, including a determination of harm or threatened harm to each child, the nature and extent of present or prior injuries, abuse or neglect, and any evidence thereof, and a determination of the person or persons apparently responsible for the abuse or neglect, unquote, as well as determine the immediate and long-term risk to the child and any protective and it's AMELIORATIVE. I don't know what that says. I'm assuming it's a word for alternative services. Quote, that appear necessary to help prevent further child abuse or neglect and to improve the home environment and the parents' ability to adequately care for the children, unquote. So that 21 just told us that for each and every report, they are supposed to lay eyes on the child and assess the environment and the child. Now, we're going to talk about these dates and these reports because there's so freaking many. So it starts with report number 1 to DCYF on July 29th of 2019. And he had gotten her, what was that date? I think February of 2019. Let me look. Yeah, February 22nd, 2019, Adams awarded custody, and by July 29th of 2019, there is a report made to DCF. The first report says, on or about July 29, 2019, DCYF received an anonymous report alleging neglect and physical abuse of Harmony. The report was opened in DCYF's records as assessment, and it gives a number, as a level 1 priority. Harmony was identified as an alleged victim, with Adam and Kaylin Montgomery identified as the alleged perpetrators. 23. Although the assessment notes the reporter as anonymous, Kevin Montgomery, hereinafter Kevin, Adam's uncle, is the reporter based on the information provided to DCYF, including that on returning to New Hampshire from Florida on July 22nd of 2019, the reporter, or Kevin, Adam's uncle, had observed that 5-year-old Harmony had a, quote, shiner, unquote, according to the report. Adam had said that he left Harmony alone with the infant while he went in the bathroom. While there, the infant began to cry, and Harmony put her hand over the infant's mouth. In response, Adam had, quote, in response, Adam had, quote, beaten the dog shit out of her. Okay, number one, how long was he in that bathroom? Because they're going to talk about drug paraphernalia in a minute. And I don't know if you've ever seen somebody, I never messed with needles, thank God. But I did do, I told you I'm going to be brutally honest. I did get hooked on that substance. I just never used a needle. I snorted it. But either way, even just doing it that way, you nod out for hours. And I can't tell you how many times I walked in a bathroom because somebody had been in there for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and they're just sitting there on the toilet with the damn needle hanging out their arm because you get the point, right? So how long was he in the fucking bathroom? Number one, because I'm concerned that he had been in there for hours. Number two, you got Harmony watching an infant and the child so damn scared about an infant crying, which is what the infant does, that she's putting her hand over the baby's mouth and trying to hush the baby because she's scared, in my opinion, that if Adam hears the baby cry, she's going to get in trouble. So she's to the point to where she's so freaking scared that she puts her hand over the baby's mouth. Okay. Well, yeah, I just ask that we not talk about politics. That's all. Because it starts an argument. Okay. Fawny, I hope that you're okay. If you want to email me, you can. But yeah, I do ask that we not talk about politics because Lord knows families have been destroyed over politics. I surely don't want to have that happen to our speculating family. Joy said the whole thing is so messed up. Right. That child is so damn scared about that baby crying that she's trying to hush it. And she's a child herself. She's not realizing that if you cover the baby's mouth, the baby can't breathe. Moving on. The reporter also stated, number 24. I take Subutex too. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I'm on Subutex as well. It helps me and it saved me. Um, yeah, it's a whole thing. But like, the point of me bringing up those dark memories is that you pass out or not out for hours, especially on heroin. And like again, I'm wondering how long he's sitting in the bathroom because he's going to the bathroom more than likely to do that. If I had to guess, just speculating over here. And how long is she being made to watch that baby? And again, babies cry. She's so fucking scared of him and the baby crying that she's trying to hush it. It's just, and she's put in a place of responsibility that no 5-year-old should be in. Continuing with the document, number 24. The reporter also stated that the electricity from the home had been shut off. There was a generator powering the air conditioner in the living room, and the premises were filthy. Why are we not taking the child at that point? Because the basics that you have to have children in your house is electricity, water, and there can't be a bunch of trash around, a bunch of animal feces, can't have mice running all over the place. Like you have to have, I mean, those are the necessities. Electricity and fucking water. If you do not have electricity and water, the child is supposed to be removed or put in a place where there is electricity and water, like from the moment that they realize there's not. Subutex is I think it's Suboxone that I take. I don't take it's a pill form, but anyway, it's what it does. It's a pill that you take. It's the only pharmaceutical I take, and it blocks your brain, like an addict's brain. You'll want to go get substances and get high, especially in times of high stress. So what Suboxone or Subutex does is it blocks those pain receptors so that you can kind of be normal and not be thinking about getting substances. And it makes it to where if I was to go out and use substances, I would get like deathly sick and end up in the hospital. And it keeps you from having like withdrawals and feeling like shit and throwing up and all of the things. It keeps you from going into withdrawal. And then if you were to use, you would get sick. I go to a clinic. They start you. Well, I started on methadone, which is a liquid, but it does the same thing. It's like to keep you from having withdrawal from substances. And I was on that for about a year, but I don't want to. Some people stay on it for like ever. I don't want to be one of those people. I want to get off of all pharmaceuticals. So in order to, like, they walked me down from the methadone, and then I switched to the Suboxone, which the methadone can get you high. And if your dose is too high, you'll still nod out. It made me gain a lot of weight. So I switched to Subutex, and then now I'm walking down. Like, they have me on a certain amount, and they walk it down by like 2 milligrams every couple of weeks till I can get off of it. If that helps anything. Yeah. Yeah, it's for pain too. And it helps. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. Yeah, they were squatting at one point. Okay. On the area, it's a bit different. We often have no electricity and water is brought in from members when the well is dry or not healthy. Oh, really, Horace? That's interesting. Oh, thank you. I'm so proud of y'all too. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people, but I don't say I'm a recovering addict because I'm not. I recovered. I'm not an addict anymore. You couldn't pay me to get high. Anyway, I don't mean to keep veering off, but I mean, and again, it kind of gives you an idea of how my story relates to crystals and they were going to the damn clinic. That's another thing. When you go to the clinic, there's usually a security officer outside and there's people walking around everywhere. So how did nobody see what was going on with Harmony in that car when they went to the clinic? Crystal said she was okay with Jameson's adopted dads to adopt Harmony too. Okay, do you know why Harmony wasn't there, Alex? Because I know at one point she was, but then she was removed. Good to see you, Veronica. Okay, so continuing on with the document. Now that I've told you my life story here. Okay, so yeah, number 25, we were talking about the bathroom and her putting her hand over the baby's mouth because he was in the bathroom. And I was saying how I think he was using substances in the bathroom and could have been there for any number of hours, nodded out on the toilet seat or whatever. Number 25 says the reporter had also seen a bent spoon in the house that he believed was drug paraphernalia and expressed concern that Adam, a former drug user, had relapsed. Now, what that is people will take the substance, and if they're going to use a needle, they'll take a spoon and they'll put it in there with a little bit of water and they'll heat it up, and then they put a lot of times a cotton from a cigarette, and that cotton sucks out all the impurities, so you're not putting like bullshit in your veins. That's what it's supposed to do anyway. I don't know. That's just what somebody told me because I asked them why they did that. And then they pull it up in the syringe and then they shoot it up. Okay. I told you the stream's going to be triggering. I apologize. I'm just trying to lay it out for you. So if we're seeing a bent spoon, that tells me that they were shooting up. And again, I go back to how long was he in the bathroom? Hey, Stolen Spirits. Bye, Cindy. Have a good day, love. Janie, what is it? What you doing? Oh, thinking to switching to Suboxone shot. Want so much shot. I've been on Subutex for 14 years. Sucks. Yeah, I don't know about that shot. That shot concerns me. Hey, Brady, have you tried walking down your Subutex by like 2 milligrams every month or so? I mean, you could stretch it out to like where you come down 2 milligrams like even every 6 months and then come down 2 milligrams again 6 months after that, Janie. If you want to get off of it, try doing it like that, like prolonged periods to get your body used to it. All right, so number 26 says, following this report, the assessment was assigned to Child Protective Social Worker, hereinafter CPSW, Demetrius Tarzo, hereinafter Tarzo. Now, there's an allegation that Tarzo was a friend of Adam's, and that's why he failed Harmony so miserably. It's just really hard, and my doc never pushed me to. Try to ask your doctor if they can start walking you down, Janie, just by like 2 milligrams or even just a milligram a month. Try that. Okay. I think that's where. Nope. We continued. So this is gonna. I'm going to skip this part. This is going to tell us about DCYF and their policies. We know what DCYF is and what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to check on the children, take the children out of the house if it's necessary. I've got one sentence lined underlined in 36, it says DCYF policy in effect at all relevant times states in relevant part, all children in the household must be met or observed by the CPSW, which is a CPS worker, to help assess the validity of the referral and to make a determination about whether they are in imminent danger. Okay, all the children, they must lay eyes on the children. This was, Anders, good to see you, in New Hampshire and in Massachusetts, or New England is what it's also called. You're on 1 milligram? Well, you're doing good. Try to go down to half a milligram or break it in half. I'm on, girl, you're doing better than me. I wish I was on 1 milligram. Excuse me. All right, we're going to go down to 37. On information and belief for each assessment, there is a, quote, contact log recording contacts between DCYF personnel and others that occurred during the course of the assessment. Number 38 reads, on the morning of July 29th, 2019, Adam's friend Demetrius made an unannounced visit to the Montgomery household. Adam's friend Demetrius reported in the contact log for this assessment that he saw Adam and Harmony as they were leaving the premises. He noted that he, quote, briefly, unquote, saw Harmony and did not, quote, observe any concerns. Okay, number one, you can't do that. You have to go inside the house. You have to talk to the child. You have to lay eyes on the child. You have to have a conversation with the child. I mean, and the fact that he's running out to the car with her and getting in the car and pulling out the driveway as you're pulling up there, again, no concerns there? Are you serious? Stop it. Number 40. On information and belief, Adam's friend Demetrius observed Harmony only from a distance as she was leaving the premises with her father and therefore failed to see the injury to her eye. 41. Adam's friend Demetrius falsely reported his observation of Harmony as, quote, face to face, unquote, and he failed to comply with DCYF's policy requiring face to face contact with the alleged victim within 24 hours. 42. I'm calling him Adam's friend Dimitri because that's where this whole ship took another turn for the worse because it was already bad. Yeah, I get it, Janie. I'm here for you if you need to talk to me, you can email me, sweetheart, and I support you. It's methadone you should fade out. You nod out sometimes and they give it to people who are on their way out of the world. That's another reason why I got off of it, but you can, Anders. Veronica said if it weren't for his wife, he would have never, we still doesn't accept what he fucking did. He's a monster. Yeah, if it wasn't for Kayla getting up there on the stand and talking about what happened, we still wouldn't know what happened. Okay, so I'm calling him Adam's friend Dimitri because what he did was what started this, what helped this train go way off the tracks. So, number 42, Adam's friend Dimitri also noticed that he recognized Adam from prior contacts. On information and belief, Adam's friend Dimitri had known Adam since he was 15 years old, when Adam was committed to the New Hampshire Youth Development Center, hereinafter as YDC, where Dimitri was one of Adam's youth counselors. So because Dimitri was one of Adam's youth counselors when Adam was still a child, he thought that everything was okay and he could just talk to Adam and Adam would just tell him the truth and he didn't have to lay eyes on the child and all of that. No, absolutely not. Especially like if you were his counselor at that point in time, that should have, yeah, it's good that you know him and you guys have contact. That should maybe help you get into the house more and get more information because the person would feel more comfortable with you. But instead, he manipulated the shit out of you, and now this child's dead, in my opinion. Hey, Scratch the Paint. Joy said, I want to know where she is. I do too, sweetheart, but judging by Adam's mentality and his demeanor, he's never going to tell. I've met people that seem like him. He seems like a lot of people I've known in the past, and they'll never tell. That's why. Oh, they're putting the geese up, so they're hollering. That's why he took Harmony and Kayla wasn't with him, so that nobody knew. She didn't even know where he was at. I completely believe that he took Harmony and put her somewhere, and Kayla wasn't there. I believe her when she says that because he's that type, in my opinion. Number 44. Notably, during a subsequent home visit 9 days later on August 7, 2019, Adam's friend Demetrius documented in the contact log that he observed a red mark in Harmony's eye and a faded bruising under her lower eyelid. According to contact log on July 29, 2019, Adam's friend Dimitri spoke to Kayla, who stated that she had been expecting a report to DCYF because a friend of theirs, Alex, known as Alex, was staying with them in the home. Number 45. As reported in the contact log, Kayla told Adam's friend Dimitri that Alex, a drug user, had recently relapsed and that Adam's uncle had discovered Alex's drug paraphernalia. Adam's friend Dimitri asked Kayla where she and Adam go for their own continued drug treatment. Now, that number 45, when you go to a clinic, you are drug tested, usually daily until you graduate the program. Hey, scratch the paint. So they would have been having to submit to drug tests daily, and I would think that him as a CPS worker was asking where they're getting their drug treatment so that he can go pull those drug tests. In the beginning, it's daily, and then you bump up to like once every 2 weeks once you've been passing your drug test. And then you get to a point like me, I go once a month. So they drug test me once a month, and I get my medicine for the whole month. Because I've been doing it for a couple years. So anyway, there's always a report that the government can go get and see your drug screens and things like that. And the other issue I have is that if you're in a house with somebody who's recently relapsed, you have your ability to use and it's like a trigger, you know what I mean? Like seeing somebody else using the same substances that you used is a trigger, and it's going to make you want to use. And so that whole situation is just not good. Adam's own uncle reported him for giving Harmony a black eye. Yep, that's what we're reading over now because this gives us a great timeline. Hey, Bogart. Good to see you, love. Glad you're here. Okay. Okay, 46. The contact log notes that Kayla also explained that the electricity had been turned off and Adam had gone to get fuel for the generator. Adam's friend Dimitri noted in the contact log that the room was, quote, a bit messy and smelled of dog, but was not overpowering. So he's writing down these things because he knows that that'll get the case passed along and it will be okay. Nothing's going to happen. Number 48. Adam's friend Dimitri noted in the contact log that he asked if he could return later that day to speak to Adam, but was told by Kayla that they would not be home. Adam's friend Dimitri gave her his card and suggested that, quote, maybe, unquote, they could meet within the next couple of days. Number 49. CPS workers are trained on completing contact logs to document information and activity in an investigation, and in their training materials are instructed that, quote, if it is not documented, it didn't happen, unquote. Number 50. There is no indication in the contact log that Adam's friend Dimitri asked Kayla about the report that Adam had given Harmony a black eye. So this CPS worker goes out there on allegations that Harmony had a black eye, doesn't even ask Kayla about it. He's only able to speak to Kayla because Adam takes off with Harmony in the car and there's no freaking electricity. Like, all of those things are so suspicious, and the children should have been removed again because there was no electricity. I suppose that there could have been a technical issue because technically they did have a generator. Maybe that's why, but again, it's just when you add that to everything else, it's like, why? Why did this CPS worker not do their job? Number 51, Adam's friend Dimitri made no notation in the contact log of observing or speaking with Harmony beyond briefly seeing her getting into a vehicle leaving the home with Adam. 52. There is no notation in the contact log for this visit of Adam's friend Dimitri conducting any interview with Harmony or speaking to her in any way. On information and belief, Adam's friend Dimitri did not conduct the interview with Harmony as required by DCYF policies or otherwise speak to her in any way. The CPS worker failed to assess Harmony's safety as required by policy from his car as he watched Adam and Harmony get into a car and drive away. Number 53. Following this visit, Adam's friend Dimitri noted in the contact log that he sent an email to the Manchester Police Department stating that, quote, "I think you folks are all set. I saw the children and did not observe any bruises, marks, or etc." Are you kidding me? Like, he's emailing the mother trucking police and saying, I didn't see any bruises. I laid eyes on them. I talked to them. I saw them, and I didn't see anything. Knowing damn well that's a lie. And telling this to the police. Adam's friend Demetrius reasonably understood that his statement was false and an abject failure of the CPS worker to follow DCYF's policies, which deprived DCYF and the Manchester Police Department of the opportunity to learn facts related to the assessment and Harmony safety. We're at number 54. As noted in the contact log, Adam's friend Dimitri called Adam later that afternoon. During that call, Adam's friend Dimitri and Adam discussed the drug paraphernalia found in the house, which Adam said belonged to Alex. Adam's friend Dimitri discussed his concerns about substance abuse and noted in the contact log that Adam reported that he and Kayla are, quote, clean, unquote, and attended a clinic. Number 55, he failed to question Adam about the report that Harmony had a black eye. Again, not even mentioning Harmony's black eye. Reportedly caused when Adam, quote, beat the dog shit out of her, unquote. Adam's friend Dimitri and Adam scheduled a meeting at the Montgomery home for August 1st of 2019. 56. DCYF failed to notify Crystal of the report in violation of DCYF policy, which provides that non-custodial parents, quote, have a right to know if their children or youth are involved with DCYF, unquote. The purpose of the policy is to engage non-custodial parents during the assessment process. Now, report number 2 is on the same day, on July 29th of 2019. Let me double check, so I can make sure I'm not giving you misinformation, but I do believe it's the same day. Hold on. Yep. On the very same day, another report is made. Number 57. This is the second report. Later that day, July 29, 2019, DCYF received a report from Kevin Montgomery. The report was added to the assessment number and the information report. DCYF policy receiving additional information regarding an open assessment states that reports of additional information should be used when a DCYF assessment is open and there is an incident or circumstance that is not one of abuse or neglect. So I've highlighted down number 60. The additional information report contained new allegations, including allegations of Harmony being spanked by Adam and verbally abused by Kayla Montgomery. We're going to scroll down to 62. As noted in the report, Kevin reported that he asked Adam what had happened, and Adam told him that he left the baby, the infant, alone with Harmony while he went to the bathroom. The baby began to cry. Harmony did not know what to do and, quote, tried getting him to stop crying, unquote, by covering the baby's mouth with her hand. Kevin reported that Adam told him he had, quote, bounced her off every fucking wall in this place. I explained to her why later. He's bragging about it. At this point, he is bragging about it. I bounced her off every fucking wall in this place, and then I explained to her why. That is sick. Kalisa said, if Dimitri is so close to Adam, it's very possible he was also involved in substance use. There's something shady going on. Yeah, Kalisa, it could be. I don't know. There's some kind of connection there. That it stated that Dimitri was his drug counselor when he got in trouble at the age of 15. Or not drug counselor. He was his counselor when Adam got in trouble at the age of 15, to the extent of he had to be sent to a reform facility. And at that reform facility, Dimitri was his counselor. So, I mean, that's a conflict of interest from the start, and we can see why they have a such thing as a conflict of interest and why it should be notated every single time, because that's a defined, underlined, and highlighted in red conflict of interest, and because of that, this ball that had started rolling went way off the track from the beginning because of his conflict of interest. I just went to turn the kettle thing for extra hot coffee. Awesome. I need some. A name here. Coffee is cooling in the cup. I know mine is too. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. I am thankful every day for that. Good Lord. Sorry, my cup rubbed on my mic. Okay. So continuing on, number 64. Kevin reported that Harmony was legally blind. Kevin also reported that at some point he had seen Adam and Kayla leaving the house with the two younger children. According to a report, Kevin stated he went inside and found Harmony and a man who identified himself as Alex Call, who said he was recently a recently relapsed drug abuser. Adam was letting him stay in the house. Alex then left, leaving Harmony alone with Kevin. According to the report, Kevin, not wanting to leave Harmony alone in the house, took her along while he ran some errands, texting Adam to let him know that he had Harmony with him. Adam responded that Harmony was being punished and that, quote, she is never to leave that fucking house under no circumstances, unquote. Like, again, they're showing their despise for her. Like, they literally despise her, and it's so evident from the first and second report that was ever made. And y'all, I had to print this out in segments. The first page of my is I had to staple it in segments, right? Because it's like 50 pages, or yeah, it's 50 pages. So I've got 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3. My 2 of 3 stack, the first page says report number 13. Report number 13. You know, after they get so many reports, they're supposed to legally take the child. Like, after your 3rd, 4th, or 5th report, they're supposed to take the child, like, regardless. I do believe. I should add the report of, like, verified abuse. So maybe that's why, like, if they get in trouble and do the safety assessment and fix the issue, right, and that happens 3 or 4 times, then like the 4th or 5th time that they go and find the allegations are valid, they take the kids. Still never happened. Okay. 67. Kevin further reported witnessing Harmony being punished by being made to scrub the bathroom with a toothbrush. Now, I heard that she was being made to scrub the toilet with her toothbrush. And I remember hearing that when the case was made 13. No, I think she was 5. Yeah, the system is failing our children. That's interesting, bad girl. They have. They really have, Lori. Now, I remember hearing when this case was in the news that they made her scrub the toilet with her toothbrush. The report noted that Kevin reported that Harmony is spanked on her bottom several times a week. Kevin also reported that Kayla calls Harmony, quote, disgusting, unquote, and other names because she's disgusting. 70. Additionally, Kevin reported that the electricity to the home had been shut off for non-payment and that any electricity was being provided by a small generator that is not sufficient to provide power for all of the household needs. As noted in the report, Kevin stated that there was no hot water and the house was filthy both inside and out. And keep in mind, this is Adam's uncle. Okay, like, he's calling and reporting his nephew. Like, that already, that's a family member. He's already saying to himself, I'm sure, hey, man, why don't you get this together? I'm sure he did not want to call DCYF on his nephew. But at this point, he's like, there's nothing else I can do. I've got to try to help this child. Can you imagine how many talks he had with him or how bad he felt about having to even call and report him? And he's reporting him and nothing's happening. Number 71. Kevin went on to report finding what appeared to be drug paraphernalia in the home. The report states that Kevin was seeking to know what was happening with his earlier report. According to the report, Kevin became frustrated when informed that this information was confidential. The report notes that Kevin reiterated that he had returned home from Florida on July 22nd and stated that he had seen the bruise on Harmony on the 23rd. As noted in the report, the DCYF worker who took the call questioned Kevin, quote, on the accuracy of his dates, unquote, further frustrating Kevin, who said, quote, this is why children die, unquote, and that, quote, this child was punched clear in the eye socket with full force, unquote. Could you imagine? You call and make a CPS report, okay? And you're already feeling guilty because it's your nephew, but you see this child with a black eye and he's saying that shit. I beat the dog shit out of her. I slammed her into every wall in this fucking house. And so you call DCYF and you tell them that I saw her with a black eye when I got back from Florida. I know the date because I traveled here to be here on a specific date, which was the 22nd, the day after I got here, the 23rd. I saw this child with a black eye, and this mother trucker is asking you, are you sure about that? Are you sure you got your dates right? Because we went over there and we didn't see her with a black eye. Like, could you imagine how fucking frustrating that would be? So, yeah, I mean, I would probably feel the same. And he said, this is why children die. This child was punched clear in the eye socket with full force. Amanda says CPS is so overwhelmed they can't keep up with all the kids on their caseload. I agree with that. I do. 100%. But I don't think that we need to be saying we laid eyes on the child or we assessed the situation if we haven't. I agree with you 100% that their caseloads are too much. We need more CPS workers so the caseload can be, lightened up a little bit. They work way more. They're heroes in a lot of ways. But this one that said they saw Harmony and there was no bruises and is asking him, are you sure about your dates and shit? That person should have never ever been anywhere near that position, in my opinion. Lori attended the trial. I saw that earlier. That's really cool. I wish I could have went. Okay. 75. The report notes that Kevin questioned why the matters he was reporting were not, quote, imminent danger, unquote, and asked why Harmony had not been interviewed. He ended the call by saying that he was going to call, quote, every GD day until something was done. I feel really bad for Kevin because he was trying. I mean, he's so frustrated, he's taking the Lord's name in vain. I'm going to call every GD day until you do something. So report number 3, also on July 29th of 2019. 3 reports so far on one day. Also on July 29th of 2019, DCYF received another report of suspected abuse of Harmony. The reporter is anonymous. Oh, wait. Yeah. Now we're on report number 4 on the same day. 4 reports on the same day. And again, on July 29th, DCYF received another anonymous report of suspected abuse of Harmony. The report was added and assessed. Report number 5, the very next day. DCYF received a report on July 30th, 2019, and the reporter identified himself as Kevin Montgomery, the uncle. The report was added to the assessment. And it says, however, Kevin's report should have been screened in as additional allegation report. Additional information reports are used for when something is reported that is not abuse or neglect related to an open assessment. where Kevin's report contains information that plainly fits the definition of child physical abuse, the report was not appropriately classified as additional information, but rather should have been screened in as additional allegation report because it is a new allegation of child abuse or neglect during the assessment. So his uncle calls again the next day, like he said he would. He said, I'm going to call you every GD day until you do something. So he calls him the next day. And I scrolled down to 81. As noted in the report, during this call, Kevin again reported his observations about Harmony's black eye, which he described as, quote, like she was in a boxing match, unquote. He provided new information about Harmony and inappropriate discipline, as well as new allegations of physical discipline on one of the boys. The report notes that Kevin described how he arrived at the home on July 24, 2019, to find that everyone but Harmony and Alex had left the home. Kevin stated that he had taken Harmony to Dunkin' Donuts at approximately 4 o'clock in the evening to get her something to eat, at which time Harmony told him that it was the first food she had eaten all day. The first thing this child eats is at 4 p.m., and it's a donut. Hold on just a minute. Okay, if it's warmer outside, y'all can take them up to the garden, but if you want me to help you, I'll do it. I'll help you after my live. Sorry, y'all. Southern Cats, I know at least 13 because my second stack of documents talks about report number 13, and it's September 11th of 2019. We're on 83. I'm going to try not to read this whole document, but it's kind of important to know everything that happened. The report notes that Kevin reported that on one occasion, Adam had made Harmony stand in the corner for between 5 and 8 hours. It is a minute per year. A minute per year. A minute per year. 8 hours? I'd like to make him stand in a damn corner for 8 hours and not let him sit down. Adam felt he will, quote, break Harmony, unquote, and that Harmony had been made to stay in bed from the time she woke up until 4 p.m. Kevin also reports his concerns that the 2 other children in the house were being neglected. Kevin mentioned in this report that Kayla's son from a previous relationship would visit the home. And 85 talks about, as a DCYF worker, you're supposed to try to locate all the children that have been going in and out of the house and talk to them about what they're seeing. And they didn't do that either. 86, on information and belief that Demetrius, Alex's friend, never contacted Kayla's son. Oh, it's saying that he never contacted the boy, Kayla's older son. Demetrius, Adam's friend, noted in the contact log that he spoke to Kevin on July 30th of 2019. According to the contact log, Kevin, who became emotional at times, informed Dimitri, Adam's friend, that the Montgomery home was under foreclosure. Kevin again recounted having seen Harmony with a black eye, the messy condition of the home, and the lack of electricity except for the generator. In the contact log, Dimitri, Adam's friend, notes that he, quote, he asked, quote, specifically about the drug concerns. Kevin responded that he believed Adam had relapsed. In the contact log, Dimitri, Adam's friend, makes no mention of asking specifically about Harmony's reported black eye. So again, he's not asking about the black eye. It's like he knows it's there. He saw it that day possibly, and he wants to act like it's not there. So he's just going to not talk about it until the situation disappears. Yeah, endless calls. Yep. Well, Southern 13 reports, that's just, I haven't even looked at every single page. There's probably more. That's completely, it's not falling through the cracks. That's completely ignoring and someone not doing their damn job. Exactly. And lying, saying they talk to the child, they lay eyes on the child, and he's avoiding the whole situation of the black eye completely. The contact log notes that Kevin asked whether Dimitri thought that what he was telling Dimitri Adams' friends was serious, and Dimitri Adams' friend told him yes, that he would be following up. So at this point, Kevin, Adams' uncle, says to the damn CPS worker, do you think this is a joke? Do you think this is a game? Are you not taking this seriously? Like, I need you to take this seriously. And the CPS worker responds, I am taking that seriously, and I'll be following up. 92. Later that day, according to the contact log, Dimitri, Adams' friend, spoke to Kevin's ex-girlfriend, Christina. As noted in the contact log, she expressed many of the same concerns as Kevin. Report number 6 is also on July 30th. So we had 4 reports on the 29th, 2 reports on the 30th so far. DCYF received yet another report on July 30th, 2019 from, quote, Pamela, unquote. This report was added. As noted in the report, Pamela also expressed many of the same concerns as Kevin, adding that when she was visiting the house for a couple of days, Adam would not let Harmony leave her room for the whole time on the grounds that she was being punished. So this woman's there for several days. Harmony's made to stay in her room the whole damn time. Pamela reported seeing no food in the refrigerator, seeing drug paraphernalia, and that the generator powered only the refrigerator and air conditioning at the end of July. Pamela reported that, quote, this girl is being physically abused and no one is doing anything about it, unquote. She also notifies DCYF that Harmony is legally blind in one eye and needs glasses. On information and belief, Dimitri never contacted Pamela in violation of DCYF policies. The contact log states that on August 1st, Dimitri, Adams' friend, received a call from Adam canceling their scheduled home visit for that day. Adam said he would call back to reschedule the visit. Dimitri called Adam back the next day but was unable to reach him or leave a voicemail. This is also noted in the log. So Adam says, whatever, I'm not going to be there, so I can't meet with you today on August 1st, and cancels the whole entire meeting. And they notate it and do not a damn thing about it. Yes, that is our chat in the lower right corner. I have the option to do that now, and I really like it. I think it's cool. And Crystal couldn't stay off drugs for her baby. Now she has money. Makes me say, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think that he was fired, but I don't know if anything else happened after that. Lori said there was a massive cover-up between Massachusetts and New Hampshire. They are like police agencies not sharing information. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. And I'm reading all of this to you, okay, because I want you to understand, number one, the grounds for Crystal's suing the state. Because, my God, does she have enough grounds to do this. I think she should have been awarded some money because of what happened, okay? But you're doing it off the back of your deceased daughter. And what are you doing with it? Like, how are you benefiting anybody or anything? And again, her mental state. We're going to talk about it. All right, that was only how far I highlighted. So we're going to scan through the rest of it. According to the report, this is 98. According to the report, in addition to reiterating the concerns previously raised about Harmony's black eye, drug use in the home, the presence of Alex in the home, and Adam having told Kevin that Harmony was not to leave the home and should have been left in the home alone, Christina reported that Harmony is being molested by people who stay in the home and use drugs. She stated that Harmony is legally blind and needs glasses, but Adam got rid of her glasses. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, but my God. This is why you shouldn't... I want to tread carefully here, but if you're abusing substances, in my opinion, you should not have your children around. Period. They don't need to see that. They don't need to be part of that. Especially if you're at this point where you're letting people squat at your house. They let this person, Alex, stay there, in my opinion, because he either had a connection or he was able to provide them substances at some point. He probably paid them some type of rent with drugs. Or he had a good connect and they would all go together and get their substances to use for the day. And you have no idea who this person is, if he has a criminal record, all of this, that, and the third. You just know what he's told you and that he's got a good connection to get your dope. And you're letting him in the house with this child alone, leaving to go get dope, because if you're dope sick, you're going to roll out, leaving the damn child there. And how many other times had this happened? Jesus. And then he gets rid of her fucking glasses so the child can't even fucking see. Excuse my language, but I'm just so freaking Jesus. Okay. 99. Although DCYF has received a significant amount of information on abuse allegations of Harmony by Adam during a 3-year period, DCYF violated its policies by failing to meet Harmony or interview Adam and Kayla. On August 5th, 2019, Dimitri, Adam's friend, recorded the contact log that he had received information from the Manchester Police Department setting forth calls received by police relating to the Montgomery home. Among that information was a report that on July 7th of 2019, the police had trespassed Alex's call from the property, and that the Manchester Police Department had received a call from a neighbor who reported that Adam and Kayla are yelling at each other. So this person, Alex Call, had been told not to come back on the property or he'd get a trespassing charge on July 7th. And July 29th, 30th, all the days that the man does go there and they do talk about it, this person is still on the property. It is hideous. It absolutely is. I don't know, Crackerjacks. I don't know. He was her biological father, so you would think that he would have protected her, but Jesus. Me too, Braddy. It's good to see you. I would think so. The glasses were also to punish her, considering that they were probably on Medicaid, and even though she broke them, he probably could have got her another pair for free, but that would require him, getting up off his ass and taking her to the doctor. Things that he wasn't doing, which again, when you're awarded custody, especially through the state or something like that, I thought they keep track of shit like that. I could be wrong, but I thought that, like, even though you're awarded custody, they still check in and, like, are you taking them to the doctor? Are they going to school? All of the things. Hey, Indy, good to see you. He is locked up for the rest of his life. Thank God. Okay. According to Manchester Police Department calls for service log, on or about July 10th of 2019, the Manchester Police Department received a call from someone identifying themselves as a neighbor of the Montgomerys, in which the caller reported hearing a male and female fighting inside the house. The caller also reported hearing banging and screaming children. According to the contact log on August 5th, 2019, Dimitri, Adam's friend, spoke to Adam and scheduled a home visit to take place on August 7th, 2019. 9 days after Kevin's initial report of Harmony's black eye. According to the contact log, we're at 103. I apologize. According to the contact log, on August 7, 2019, Dimitri conducted a home visit. On information and belief between Kevin's report of July 29th and August 7th, Dimitri had no contact with Harmony other than observing her from a distance as she was leaving the home with Adam on the 29th of July. Dimitri paid a home visit to the Montgomery home on August 7th. He noted in the contact log that during the visit, he raised his concerns about substance abuse and had Adam sign a release of information from the methadone clinic he had been attending. So it's not even, okay, there's allegations of drug abuse and the black eye on July 29th, and you're not getting the release of information until August 7th to pull his drug screens and see if he's using. I don't think so, bad girl. She's never been found. He'll never tell where he put her. They did, Shaker Maker. They did. It's really sad. I mean, you're right. They would be. Dimitri noted, additionally, Dimitri Adams' friend noted in the contact log with respect to Harmony's eye injury, Adam claimed that her younger brother had hit her in the corner of her eye with a toy lightsaber. He documented in the contact log that he spoke to Harmony, quote, a bit, making small talk while she was watching a movie. The policy provides that ideally the child needs to be interviewed in a natural, uninfluenced, non-threatening, private, quiet place that is free from interruptions. On information and belief, Dimitri met with Harmony inside the home and did not note any effort to speak with Harmony in a private, quiet place with no distractions or interruptions. Additionally, Dimitri, Adam's friend, cannot assess Harmony's safety because he met with Harmony with Adam present in the home in violation of DCYF policy. Dimitri noted in the contact log that he had observed a red mark in Harmony's right eye and some faded bruising under her eyelid. These observations were made 9 days after the first report to DCYF of Harmony's black eye. So 9 days later, there's still a red mark and bruising under her eye. He previously informed, and that's there and apparent, even though he previously, I'm trying to scroll it on this page. So these observations were made 9 days after the first report to DCYF of Harmony's eye, although he previously informed the police department on July 29th that he, quote, did not observe any bruises, marks, or etc., unquote. He failed to contact law enforcement to retract or update about Harmony's injuries. There is no DCYF record that he contacted law enforcement about Harmony's injuries after July 29, 2019, which is the day he lied and said there was nothing there. According to the log, Harmony told Dimitri that her brother had hit her in the eye with a lightsaber because she was scared to death, and Adam told her to. He had 9 days to grill her. In my opinion, DCYF policy then in force and effect states in part, bruises are usually classified by size and some information can be determined by their appearance. One way to determine the approximate age of a bruise is by the color. On information and belief, Dimitri knew the passage of time between the first report of Harmony's black eye on July 29th and his observations of her eye 9 days later on October 7th, 2019. He observed the remaining injuries to Harmony's eye. He took no steps to determine whether bruising of this nature was consistent with Adam's explanation that she had been hit in the eye by a toy lightsaber approximately 9 days earlier. He documented in the contact log that he asked Harmony whether her eye still hurt, and she said no. Whether she felt safe at home, and she said yes. Whether anything had happened that made her feel scared or sad, and she said no. And whether her mom, dad, or anyone else hurt her recently or ever, and she said no. On information and belief, Demetrius conducted this interview in a public part of the home with others present and or in the vicinity, including Adam as the alleged perpetrator in violation of their policy. He failed to investigate other reports of abuse and neglect of Harmony. For example, he didn't ask Harmony any questions related to the reports that she had been punished by being made to stand in the corner for hours, that she had been punished by being made to stay in her room for most of the day, or that she had been punished by being made to scrub the bathroom with a toothbrush. Her toothbrush, might I add. Yes, please. Thank you. He did not ask non-leading and open-ended questions. He documented in the contact log that he spoke to someone at Adam's drug treatment clinic. According to the contact log, Kevin and Christina again called DCYF and spoke to a supervisor, expressing their concern that Adam had relapsed and was using heroin. You can't. There's absolutely no fucking way, kid, you take care of a child while you're using heroin. It's just not fucking possible. It's not. Sorry. You don't think he remembers? I think he does, and I think he just won't ever tell. It's possible, though, Shaker. Like so many of these children we hear about failed by the system that is supposed to protect children. We have PDF files living with children and etc., and those not fit to care for any child. Exactly. I'm sorry, Cara. If it becomes too much, sweetheart, don't stay. I want you to protect your peace. Okay. Um, On August 8th of 2019, Dimitri, Adam's friend, documented in the log that he had spoken to Dr. Morrison and had been told that, quote, the children are up to date medically with no concerns for abuse or neglect. However, the contact log notes that subsequently on March 3rd of 2021, Dr. Morrison stated that she had never seen Harmony, although she had seen the two younger siblings. So they're not even taking her to the doctor. Actually, I just caught that. So this CPS worker wrote on August 8th of 2019 that he talked to her pediatrician and that the pediatrician said the children are up to date medically with no concerns for abuse or neglect. But then approximately 9 to 10 months no, 2 years later, on March 3rd, 2021, probably for trial, the same doctor said she never even saw Harmony. She only saw the two younger children. Who do you think's lying there? I bet it's the worker. On information and belief, when Dimitri spoke to Dr. Morrison on August 8, 2019, he inquired about, quote, the children, unquote, without using their names or specifying to which children he was referring. Dimitri then assumed that when Dr. Morrison was referring to all three children when she stated that the children were up to date medically and there was no concerns for abuse or neglect. Oh, we're going to go with this technicality. Okay. It's beyond understanding if CPS workers went to jail for their failures, maybe people would take their work seriously. I agree. When you're talking about this, now again, I understand that CPS workers do get overwhelmed and things like that, but this case was just blatant not doing your job. Shaker Maker said, I think, sorry, this is bad. Okay, so this is going to be a trigger warning. He tossed what was left of her out of the car window. That's why I don't think he knows exactly. Sorry again, that's just what I believe. I get it. It's a possibility. I would think if that had happened, that she would have been found by now on the side of the road or something. But it's definitely possible. Carr said he hated that Crystal moved on, even though he did too. I think he did forget over time, but he initially did it all to hurt Crystal further. You think so? I've always wondered why. Why did he do that? That was his biological daughter. Did he see Crystal with her? Like, what was the deal? Okay, we're on number 25. 125, sorry. He never specifically inquired whether Harmony was up to date medically. He never inquired whether Harmony received medical treatment for the bruising around her eye. He wrote that he had contentious call with Kevin, in which Kevin expressed his continued concern about Adam's drug use and said that he believed the children should be removed from the home. So that's the uncle saying that you need to take these kids away from my nephew right now because he's fucking up, basically. Excuse my language. This is report number 8, August 15th, 2019. DCYF received a report on August 15, 2019. A family friend called DCYF on behalf of Harmony's grandmother, Helen, to report her concerns for Harmony. The report was added. As noted in the report, the caller reiterated the concerns reported earlier regarding Harmony's black eye. So again, this is 2 months, almost 2 months later, and they're still talking about this black eye. That's how bad it was. Reporting that Harmony is blind in one eye and is supposed to wear glasses. Helen also reported her concerns about Adam's drug use and Harmony being punished by having to clean the toilet with her toothbrush. The reporter went on to state that she was worried that Harmony would, quote, end up like Bella, that little girl that was found dead on Deer Island because she was beaten by a mom's boyfriend, unquote. The reporter provided new information about Adam having been in jail for 6 to 7 years for robbery and drug possession, and that Kayla is afraid of Adam. Dimitri, Adam's friend, failed to explore domestic violence in the home. The report was noted and in the contact log, and he wrote that he was aware of these concerns and had spoken with Adam's drug counselor and had seen the injury to Harmony's eye, which she said had been caused when her brother hit her in the eye with his toy lightsaber. So this is the 8th report, and we still got this friend of his on the case. There is no documentation that he contacted the reporter in violation of DCYF policies. So again, each time it's like 3 violations, allegedly, in my opinion. We're on report number 9. They received a report on August 16th. The reporter identified themselves as Thelma. As noted in the report, Thelma reported that she was concerned because the Montgomery house has no electricity and is instead using a small generator. She also reported that the yard was deplorable and the driveway was full of trash, leading her to wonder whether the inside of the home was safe for children. So they're still using a generator 2 months later. He noted in his the worker noted in his contact log that he was aware of the additional information. He had visited the home and knew that a generator was in use because the electricity had been turned off. He had spoken with, quote, collaterals, unquote, and had no present concern. There is no documentation that Dimitri called the person who reported that back at all whatsoever. Second time, there's no documentation that he even contacted anybody back. Data working today. What happened to 5G? It's been, girl, the internet has been wonky all over, even out here. It's been raining for 2 days straight. Crazy. Report number 10 to DCYF on August 22nd, 2019. They received a report on August 22nd. The report is listed as a neighbor named Karen. The report was added. Karen reported safety concerns to the home because there are extension cords running into the house and that a generator was in use. She also reported that the fire department had been to the house over concerns the generator was too close to the home. And again, there's no documentation that Dimitri Adams' friend contacted the Board of Health or the fire department to determine the safety and habitability of the home. Additionally, in violation. So this neighbor's saying that the fire department even went out there because the generator was so close to the home and they were concerned about the safety of the home. And this worker didn't even contact the damn fire department to see what the deal was and what they said. Now we're on report number 11. This was August 23rd, 2019. Porter identified as Thelma. According to the report, Thelma reported her continuing concerns about the generator being the source of electricity in the home. She also reported hearing that 2 days earlier there had been a fight and something was thrown out of a window, breaking it with glass all over the yard. She reported worrying that the outside of the home was in an unkempt state and the inside must be unclean as well. The reporter commented, if we, as in DCYF, are waiting for children to die before something gets done, unquote. And there is no documentation that he ever even called her back. Report number 12, September 11th. They received a report on September 11th, Kevin Montgomery, Adams' uncle. Kevin said that he had called earlier to report suspected child abuse. He now reported that the Montgomery home had been foreclosed on and that the eviction process has commenced. He also reported there is no electricity in the home, so that there was no heat or hot water and that it is starting to get cold at night. Kevin expressed his concerns that there was insufficient food in the house. He reported that there was an unplugged refrigerator blocking the back door because the lock for the door was broken. So now they have a refrigerator blocking the fire escape. I apologize for not scrolling. We're on number 12. Ooh, I'm sorry. Now it's getting cold at night and there's a damn refrigerator blocking the back door. So what if there's a fire at the front door? Like we're blocking the back door because the lock is broke with the refrigerator? Like you can makeshift a lock. Stop it. You could pull up a YouTube video and make a lock probably out of a rubber band and a freaking paperclip. And you're blocking the back door. Jesus. With a whole entire refrigerator. The intake worker made notation in the report that according to contact, Terros had met with the family and had seen the generator, which actually runs the stove, fridge, and the electricity in the home. On information and belief, contact 3, as referred to in the report, dates contact log entry that was made more than a month and a half earlier on July 19th. So they marked it down as July 29th, sorry. And there's no report that he ever followed up in any way. Now we're on report number 13. So you get the idea, right? Like all of these reports and nothing is being done. DCYF received a report September 11th. The reporter identified themselves as Helen. As noted in the report, Helen reported she owned the Montgomery home and had returned to the home that day, but Adam would not let her in. Helen reported that the house is, quote, in shambles, unquote. She reported that there's no hot water, the refrigerator was barricading the back door because there was no lock, and that the home was filthy with the smell of urine. As noted in the report, Helen also reported having seen Harmony put in the corner for hours at a time. She reported that Harmony is blind in one eye and is supposed to wear glasses. It is reported that Harmony was not in school today, but there is no record that Dimitri made any attempt to investigate this or follow up on the report that drugs are being sold out of the house. Notably, DCYF notes that CPS worker Dimitri Adams' friends told family he has known the father since the father was 15 years old and should not have been assigned. So at this point, he's realizing that he has a conflict of interest with the case, and he told his family members that he should not have been assigned to that case. And again, he failed to contact Helen back about the report, which is especially egregious because Helen called and left a message with him on August 1st. She called to report her concerns and requested him to call her back. By this report, DCF had not met or seen Harmony since August 7th, despite multiple new reports and more information provided about Adam's parental capacities that needed to be assessed to ensure safety of the children, but Dimitri never did in violation of policies. Report number 14. They received a report on September 12, 2019. This was Detective Sergeant Mike Bergen from Manchester Police Department. The report was added to the assessment as additional information. The report notes that Bergen reported that he had been called to the Montgomery home because there was an altercation regarding Kevin and Helen attempting to enter the home to retrieve personal items. While there, Bergen noted that there was, quote, clutter in every room consisting of clothing and empty food containers. So we got a Detective Sergeant Mike calling DCYF, and he still never even called back and followed up with the damn detective. Hold on just a minute. Okay, I apologize for that. My daughter was calling. Okay, report number 15. DCYF received a report on September 16th of 2019. The reporter identified as Kevin Montgomery. The report was added to the assessment. Kevin stated that he contacted DCYF because nobody from DCYF called him about his report. According to the report, Kevin again reported his belief that Adam had been using drugs, and he reported that the generator is insufficient to run the hot water heater. He also reported having spoken to Dimitri and feeling as though Dimitri was turning a blind eye to the situation. Because he was, and he reported that Dimitri told him that he'd known Adam since Adam was 15, and that Dimitri knew he was, quote, not like this. So again, you've known this person from the age of 15, and we're already seeing conflicts of interest, and you know that, and you're notating that you know he's not like this, therefore stating that you know he could possibly be using substances. This is insane. This is insane. Okay. Freaking lazy loser employees. In the meantime, kids continue to be abused. Family and government failing on the safety of the children. I don't know, bad girl. I don't know. Okay. On September 16th, there's a note in a contact log that Rosemarie Boylan, hereinafter Boylan, spoke with Helen in response to her request for a callback. Helen voiced her concerns about Dimitri having known Adam for 15 years. Boylan responded that, quote, it was not on a personal level. Get the out of here. According to the contact log, Helen reported that Harmony was supposed to have eye surgery and voiced her ongoing concerns about Harmony and the children living in those conditions. Boylan also spoke to Kevin during her call with Helen, who voiced his concern that there is no heat or hot water in the home. Boylan informed him that those issues had been addressed and that, quote, right now you do not need heat in the home, unquote. So this is another worker that gets on the phone and is justifying the actions of the previous worker, which I get it, like they're co-workers and things, and she might be thinking that he's doing an actual assessment and things are accurate because he's writing down lies. Cannot just say CPS workers were lazy. This seems actually purposeful, allowing terrible abuse. Yeah, I don't think I was reading. I thought that she was talking about Adam. I don't think that CPS workers are lazy in general. This seems very intent and deliberate, in my opinion. Everyone failed. Remember, there are 2 other younger children besides Harmony. Yep. Hey, Mrs. O. That's what it seems like, right? Okay. The temperatures in Manchester, New Hampshire dropped to 48 degrees on September 16th, 2019. And they're saying that they don't need heat in the home. Yeah, they do. This was September and it's 48 degrees at night. And that worker just told her they don't need heat in the home. An inadequate shelter, it says that per policy, an inadequate shelter means failure by the caregiver to provide or seek to provide shelter that is safe, healthy, and sanitary, and which protects the children from the weather. Housing conditions, lack of heat, or lack of shelter are hazardous to the safety of a child. Report number 16 on September 24th. Crystal. Okay, so this is the first call from Crystal, Harmony's mother, the one that was awarded the money. And this is report number 16 on September 24th. So it was added to the assessment. The report was improperly screened as additional information in violation of DCYF policies because that assessment had been opened since July 29th, which is more than 45 days from the date of open assessment. So basically, they added it to the first report, which should not have been open because it had been more than 45 days. As noted in this report, in addition to Crystal reporting concerns for Harmony from Kevin, she provided DCYF new allegations. She stated that Adam does not allow her to video chat with Harmony and does not permit contact between her and Harmony. Crystal reported that Harmony has not been to school since living with Adam. According to the contact log, on October 1st of 2019, Dimitri made an unannounced visit to the Montgomery home. Adam and Kayla told him that the house had been foreclosed on and they were being evicted. While there, he observed Harmony watching television and said hi, to which she responded hi. According to the contact log, this was the extent of his interaction with Harmony. On information and belief, he never inquired about her blindness in one eye or about the report that she was supposed to have surgery. Later that day, Demetrius called Adam and apologized for bothering him and asked why Harmony was not at school. Adam said he had tried to enroll her in kindergarten and was told he could not enroll her without having proof that she was a New Hampshire resident. He accepted this excuse and made no effort to follow up or verify. Are you kidding me? Now we know the child's in school and we're not even checking back to say that, is the child in school? Do we have her enrolled in school? Like, that's one of the main things you have to do. Make sure the child is in school or being homeschooled. Wow. And we're not even following up. Oh, I couldn't enroll her because I have to prove that she's a New Hampshire resident. Never mind all the documentation you could have gotten right then and there from CPS to prove that she lived at that residence, or from the police. Never mind all that. We're just not even going to call back and say, okay, whatever. Jesus. He did not question Adam's claim that he could not prove Harmony's residence in New Hampshire or verify with the school district. He had made Okay, on information and belief, had Dimitri made any minimal effort, he would have realized that Adam's excuse was inaccurate because Adam had legal documents awarding Harmony's custody, as well as the fact that Adam was receiving benefits on behalf of Harmony, which would have supported her residency. And he still didn't do a damn thing. He's getting food stamps or the like, something like that for her, which verifies her residency, and the damn CPS workers still didn't do nothing. Wow. So, I mean, we get the idea, right? Well, I guess we need to read a little bit more because okay, it's not a whole lot more of the facts. So I'll continue reading because it's talking about Crystal now, which is what we need to talk about. So, report number 17. They received a report on October 5th of 2019 from Kevin, his uncle. The report was added, and it was a violation because that report should have been closed. As noted in the report, he reported that he had been making reports to DCYF since July, and that was calling again now because there's still no heat or hot water in the house and it has gotten colder. According to the contact log on October 8th of 2019, he spoke to Crystal. Dimitri spoke to Crystal on information and belief. This is the first time Dimitri had any contact with Crystal, and she had called for the first time on September 24th, and he doesn't even talk to her until October 8th. During that call, Crystal told Dimitri that she had not been able to see or speak with Harmony because Adam makes it impossible to co-parent. According to that contact log, he asked Crystal whether she still received all of her information from Kevin. When she replied that she receives her information from Kevin, Kevin's girlfriend, and from Helen, he reassured her that he had conducted a thorough investigation and was attempting to close the report soon. On information and belief that there is no documentation, that he followed up on Adam's reported refusal to co-parent with Crystal. They received at least 17 reports regarding Harmony's safety. It says, although DCYF received at least 17 reports regarding Harmony's safety on October 17th, he notified Adam by letter that DCYF determined that the assessment was unfounded 80 days after the assessment was open in violation of DCYF policy. So even though there's 17 freaking reports, he closes out the case. 80 days later, I apologize. This suspicious behavior of Dimitri is why, in my opinion, he is somehow involved in substances or illegal activity or kickback. He was getting something out of it, in my opinion. I think so too. Nothing else makes sense. Okay. DCYF policy, in effect, at all relevant times, provides in part 1. The immediate safety of the victim is of a paramount importance. The safety assessment must be completed on all assessments assigned a response priority level within 24 hours of face-to-face contact with the alleged victim to guide decisions such as the following: whether or not the children or child may safely remain in the home, the need for interventions to eliminate the threat of immediate harm, and whether the children must be removed from the home. 2. Safety assessments look at the child's present danger and the interventions currently needed to protect the child throughout the assessment period, and for open cases, whenever new information becomes available that threatens the safety of the children, a safety assessment is completed immediately on receipt of the new information. And the safety assessment was never completed. That's not surprising. They must review all available prior founded, unfounded, and unfounded but with reasonable concern reports on child youth to evaluate their significance to the current assessment. I'm going to skip down to report number 18. This is July 7th of 2020. They received an anonymous report on July 7th. According to the report, the anonymous reporters stated their concern for Harmony and 2 other children because Adam and Kayla were using drugs in front of their children. On information and belief, the family was residing at a shelter, Families in Transition. According to the report, DCYF asked the Manchester Police Department to perform a welfare check. According to the contact log on January 8th, 2020, Demetrius again spoke to Adam by telephone. As noted in the log, Adam recounted that the police had been there. As noted in the log, Dimitri asked if he could stop by to see the family, at which point Adam told him that Harmony was now living with her mother. The contact log notes that Adam stated the family had been evicted the day before Thanksgiving, and because they were going to be homeless, it made sense for Harmony to stay with her mother, whom she was going to visit anyway. It was not until 12 days later, on January 20th, 2020, that Dimitri left a voicemail for Crystal seeking to know whether Harmony was there. He never followed up on the voicemail he had left or took any other action to confirm Harmony's whereabouts. On January 21st, 2020, he spoke to the Division of Family Assistance and learned that Adam and Caleb had submitted applications listing only the infants as children living with them. Kayla was continuing to collect benefits for Harmony. It appears that Dimitri did not, in fact, contact the Division of Family Assistance or the Division of Family Assistance provided with that information. So, to be fair, Crystal didn't ever contact them back when he called to ask if Harmony was there in July of 2020. The staff need continuing educations and manageable caseload. I agree with that. Right, Anders? Do we know if DHS looked at the other cases Dimitri was handling? I don't know. I assume they did because I know he's not working there anymore, and he might have got in trouble. I need to look it up. Really? That's good to know. He would have been busted for child harming if she went to school. Yep. And she was his meal ticket. Yep. Okay. Now we're 2 years later. September 7th, 2021, someone identifying herself as a counselor or therapist. They received a report for them. According to this report, the counselor or therapist had recalled to report that Crystal had not seen Harmony in 2 years because she was unable to locate Adam. Crystal was supposed to have visits with Harmony. In the contact log, it states that on September 16th of 2021, Crystal received a telephone call from a caseworker named Pishaki. According to that, Crystal reported that she did not know where Harmony was and believed that Harmony was living with Adam somewhere in Manchester. Crystal reported that there is a parenting plan in place pursuant to which she is supposed to have visits with Harmony. However, she does not have any contact information for Adam, and Adam has blocked her from all of his social media accounts. According to the contact log, Crystal stated that when she would have telephone conversations with Harmony, Adam would be in the background coaching her and would hang up if Harmony would say anything, quote, out of the ordinary. Yeah, okay, we're on the same page. Crystal reported that, hold on. It was only after being contacted by DCYF on September 16th of 2021 that Crystal began to believe that DCYF did not know the whereabouts of either Harmony or Adam or whether Harmony was safe. Prior to that date, Crystal reasonably believed that Harmony was safely living with Adam under DCYF's observation, supervision, and care. At this point, Crystal began an immediate and frantic search for Harmony and Adam. Okay. My issue is you went 2 whole years without finding them and seeing her and all of that. You relied 100% on DCYF to make sure your child is safe, even though when you called her and did talk to her the few times, you state that she appeared scared. Actually, we'll jump to her interview to give us a break from this for a minute. So let's do that real quick. Hold on just a minute. Let's see what she had to say.
If I can't speak for her, who else is going to? You know? Look, it happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me.
Where did you think Harmony was for the last 2 years?
I thought she was with her dad, and he was just being a jerk, really. That's what I hoped was happening, you know, but in my heart I knew something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Like, he was going to extremes to block me and make sure that I couldn't contact her or anything, or even to the point, like, once his family started calling DCYF and he knew, he then cut them off, and then I couldn't even get information from them, you know, because at least I could get information about what was going on through them. Couldn't even get anything from them. He literally cut anybody that questioned him about how he treated Harmony or what he was doing. He cut them off.
When was the last time you actually saw Harmony?
In a FaceTime video, like 2-3 days before Easter. I showed her basket. I said, I'm coming in a couple days. Mommy got you a basket, you know? I held onto that basket for a year and some change, hoping, you know, that I'd have a chance to give it to her.
But you didn't go. You didn't go. You didn't go see her. You didn't give her the basket. I mean, I get it. Like, when you're using substances, you might not have a right or whatever. I don't know. I just, even when I was on substances, I made it a point not to do that. I would call them and I would tell them, even if I knew, like, it was etched in stone that I would be able to go see them, I would tell them, I plan on coming to see you. I want to come see you. I'm going to try to come and see you, because I didn't want them to be sitting there waiting for me and then I couldn't make it, which didn't happen. If I told them I was planning on coming, I went. But I could have got a flat tire, and at that point, I had no way of buying a new tire. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. I don't know. I just, like, that kind of shit, I wouldn't do it. Like I said, even if I knew for a fact I was going to see them, I would tell them I'm going to try to come in case anything happened and I couldn't make it. It irks me.
And what did she seem like when you saw her on FaceTime?
Terrified. I would say, hey, you know, what's going on? What'd you eat for lunch? What'd you do today? You know, are you going to school yet? Like, you know, how are your brothers and sisters? You got any friends? You know, little questions like that. I'm her mom. Like, I want to know these things. I want to know she's happy. And every time I asked these things, he would pause it and he'd tell, whatever he'd say to her, I can't hear him, he'd mute it. And he'd be like, don't tell her, don't, and she'd be like, you know, and I'm watching her, so he'd unmute it, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you muting it every time I ask her a question? Why aren't you letting her talk to me? Why are you answering for her? Like, you're acting weird, Adam. I'm like, what's going on? Like, we're co-parenting. Like, you're letting me have visits.
But you're not co-parenting. You weren't co-parenting. You were absent, and you saw these things, yet you didn't call DCYF until, what was it, September? I do believe September 16th, and she's talking about an Easter interaction.
It's like, what's going on? He's like, I have sole custody, sole decision making. You don't get to ask me shit. And he hangs up and blocks me. And that was the last thing I had contact with her and saw her at all.
What made you call the police before Christmas?
It was a couple weeks. You know, I had called right after he stopped talking to me, but I was talking to my therapist, and I was telling her, like, listen, this is affecting my mental health. I can't sleep. I'm super depressed. Like, you know, my son's well taken care of, but me personally, I was really sad, you know, like something right here all the time, just telling me, like, you got to get her, you know. And I said to my therapist, I said, no one's hearing me. I've made reports. I've talked to desk people at DCF office because I didn't have a certain extension, because Demetrius wasn't on the case anymore, which was the person that was supposed to remove her that didn't. He knew Adam personally. He was Adam's DYS counselor. So he was a conflict of interest from the beginning.
And we just read through all of this. Now we're going to see what she has to say and basically switch gears. I think we've got enough from the 32 pages that I read of that accounts pretty much what happened up to the point that all of this stuff starts happening. If you want that document, and there's another one, and I'm going to try to get some more of these documents on my Patreon. this evening if I have time. Hey, Paramandy. Um, can someone check in Cara for me? I hope she's okay. She might have had to leave. But I do have these documents on my Patreon, and I'm going to add some more that I found too.
So the 3 times they were supposed to remove her, they didn't because he knew him personally. And then I got word when Mauricio had reached out to me and said, I was told you had made past reports, and then they started asking me questions about Harmony, and I said I still haven't seen or heard from her, nothing, and didn't hear anything. The guy I have all the text messages from the guy basically doing nothing. So I reached out to the mayor, and I said, listen, if you guys don't help me find my daughter, because DCYF and DCF and Mass dropped the ball on this one, let her slip through the cracks. I said, I'm going straight to the media. I don't care. It was like hours later, I got a phone call from the police in Manchester. And I had already called the Manchester police. They told me I couldn't file a missing persons report because he had physical custody of her.
So I do think it's good that she did that. I remember now that she said that. I hadn't watched all of this interview. I watched the first part of it, that she did contact the mayor. Like, I do give her kudos for doing that. She did end up going like above and beyond to try to make sure her child was okay. I just wish it had been sooner, you know.
Said, like, they told me go to court and file a petition to get custody. So I go there, and they tell me if it's a DCYF open case, then I can't go there and go to court. So they were running, like, sent me around for busy work, you know what I mean, while they were trying to figure out how to cover their butt. And it was just, when they knew I couldn't do anything at the courthouse, but they still sent me over there, you know what I mean? And then, the cops called me and they're like, we're completely involved now. DCYF told me this is really suspicious, blah, blah, blah. And then it came on the news.
Have you ever seen Adam be violent?
Yeah, when I was in a relationship with him, he used to choke me. I was pregnant with her, he'd choke me, like all kinds of stuff. If you did more than him, he'd choke you. If you were texting and he didn't want you to, or somebody he didn't like, he would do whatever to you, scream at you, get in your face, whatever. He uses his intimidation and manipulation to get what he wants. Always has.
Have you ever seen him be violent towards Harmony?
Towards her, not me seeing this, but we had a play therapist that she had while he was getting visits when I had custody of her, and even my play therapist had made a report before he got custody, mind you. I still had custody of her at this point. The play therapist made a report of abuse, saying there was definite abuse going on in the house during visits, and when she told me that, I completely never let him have visits with her again, because Nan was supervising them, and there was.
So before Adams even awarded custody, they're talking, one of the play therapists is talking about abuse in the house, yet she still lets Harmony go with Adam. I can't verify that, but that's what I've heard. I trust Alex Erickson when she said that Crystal pushed for Harmony to be with Adam, and I reiterate that Harmony at one point was in the house with her younger brother Jameson, and their 2 fathers, and their 2 adoptive fathers, and she took her out of that household. Like, these are well upstanding men of the community. They're in government and things. I mean, thank God Jameson was there and he's going to have a wonderful life. But why did you remove Harmony? A name here says she's full of excuses. Then again, this lady was probably abused by him as well. Yeah, but at the same time, you got to put your child above everything else, like everything, especially in this type of situation. Like, your child's in foster care, like, oh my God, like, and then she's full of excuses, absolutely.
Like once or twice where she had doc's appointments and stuff, so she wasn't there the whole time. And he's short-tempered, so he, as soon as he gets the second or loses his temper, he's gonna hit her, And my daughter is, she's just like me, she talks a lot and she's excited and she's smart, she kind of even thinks she might even know a little bit more than you, even though she doesn't. But
Yeah, Anders, a play therapist is like a therapist that talks to children and um they play like it's like where they have toys and things for the kids to play with and the therapist just talks to the children as they play.
that's just her, and she's just beautiful like that. But I just don't ever see someone getting so angry to where they bash her around the house, as he said. I just don't understand. If that was the case and that's what you planned on doing with her, why go for custody? Spite me. To spite me. That's all it was. It was never for love for Harmony.
Did he ever speak negatively of Harmony?
Yeah, oh yeah. He'd say, when I talked to him, I'm like, so what was going on at the visits? Like I questioned him about what the therapist had said.
You're
Hence,
welcome.
telling him no more visits because he was blowing on my phone. He was supposed to pick her up, and I didn't answer. Then he showed up to the sober house in Roxbury making a scene, and the director was like, "We'll call the cops on you," and
So you got Harmony in a sober living facility too, which is concerning. Even a homeless shelter is concerning to me personally for children, even though they let children go there. I just get concerned about somebody touching them inappropriately or something. But I mean, she was failed by everybody, including her mother, in my opinion.
I told him, this is why you're doing extreme punishments to her. She all kinds of stuff like that the therapist had gotten out of her just by playing dolls in a dollhouse. Imagine. I was horrified. I was like, no. I told DCF, and that was that. Like,
The one time that DCF did come through in this case, Red Moon said, buy all surprise from my daughter and my new granddaughter. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you got a visit from them. I hope you enjoy it.
months later, they hand over custody.
How is it possible she got to stay with him after all of
I
that?
don't understand. I still don't understand to this day. I had a court date on the same day of that hearing for Jameson's adoption. So I sent over to get a continuance from the courthouse saying, hey, we need a different court date. I can't cut myself in half. They denied my continuance and just handed him over custody because they wanted to wash their hands of the case. They were done with it. It was the lady said it was open 4 years too long.
But okay, I get having two court dates scheduled on the same day, but that's when you have to put one above the other. Like, I guess the other one was more important. I don't know. They shouldn't have done that. They should have let her reschedule one of them. But like, considering that case had been going on for 4 years, she should have went there first and tried to reschedule the other one, or let them know. Like, even if it was for like, excuse me, like something involving like the police, like a traffic violation or you committed a crime or something, if you showed them documentation that you were in another court, then they would probably they're supposed to like give you another court date and you don't go to jail if you show them documents that you were in court and try to call them. Because I've had to do that and it's always worked for me. Like, I don't get that. I don't get why you didn't show up to court for that and why you didn't like call or go to that one over the other one, considering it had been open for 4 years.
So, I know. Oh, sorry. Come back a little bit this way.
Oh, sorry.
Stay in one spot. Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to get out the wind.
No, I
It was
know.
like,
I'm sorry.
whew.
Only a few more questions and we'll be done. I know it's cold.
I don't know where he is. He needs to just come give me my coat.
I know. I mean, these are tough questions to ask a mom,
Yeah.
but I mean, do you think Harmony's alive?
I still believe she's here. I think he has her with either like his mother that no one knows really anything about because she never raised him, but I think he would call his mom or hit her up on Facebook and say, I'm in real bad trouble. I need you to take her. You're the only one that no one knows. You know what I
Hey, D's nuts. Good to see you.
mean? I feel like she's still here. I would know, man. Like I said before, a mother knows. You know when your baby's not here anymore. You literally, you feel it the day it happens, and yeah, I've woken up with panic attacks and woke up calling family members freaking out because like I just have a terrible feeling all the time. But it's not a feeling of that she's not here anymore,
With
Oh,
his violent past and
Basil, you
addiction,
scared
do you
me.
think he could have?
I feel like he sold her. I think he sold her because the same week that they're saying this happened, the day after Thanksgiving to December 6th, was the week after my son legally got adopted on the news. You know what I mean? And he knew what my son looked like. He, you know, that's my daughter's brother, you know. So he saw that, and I really think it's connected. I think, like, he got that idea from seeing that and was like, oh, I can do it illegally, you know? Because not for nothing, right around the same time, you know, human trafficking was at an all-time high. So was organ harvesting, which I don't even want to go there, you know, but at least if he sold it to a family that legally couldn't adopt or something, you know, there's still hope that she's at least safe somewhere, you know?
Do you
That is insane to go to, I think he sold her or organ harvesting. That's crazy.
feel any guilt?
Oh, yeah, every day. Every day.
Oh,
I played a
remember
part
that.
in this. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm innocent.
Hold on, I'm going to back that up because we need to reiterate that and remember that when we look at her Facebook. Let's listen to that one more time.
You know?
Do you feel any guilt?
Oh, yeah, every day. Every day. I played a part in this. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm innocent. Like, I'm a recovering addict. Like, when I gave birth to her, I didn't know nothing about being a parent. I didn't know nothing about getting in recovery, but I never stopped trying.
Okay, no, stop. I had my daughter when I was 19, and I went down the same damn path, and I did what I had to do. And you do know about recovery. You do know about these things. You do know what you can do.
Always went into program after program after program trying to, you know, prove to her and my family that I wasn't going to stop until I got better, you know. And I just, you know, especially when I kept reaching out to Adam, kept reaching out, like I even was like, I even wanted to show him, like, look how far I've come, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of shame and guilt, you know, that come with this. But it's not gonna set me back. It's gonna motivate me to keep fighting for her and keep looking for her, because if I can't speak for her, who else is going to, you know? Look what happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me. You know, I just want people to hear me and come forward and tell us something, because somebody knows something. It's a fact. Like, someone knows something, and either they're too afraid to get in trouble or whatever, but someone knows something.
And just my last question, the search happening at the house now.
They're just scouring for any type of anything,
Do
really.
you think there's something at that house?
No. I don't have a feeling like there's. I get these crazy intuitions, I always have, and I don't have any type of intuition about that house. I feel like they're wasting time, to be honest. But that's just my opinion.
These nuts, congratulations, sweetheart. I know you're ahead or behind, but when you hear this, I hope you know that we're all very proud of you and everybody else who has recovered.
I'm also hoping as well, you know, that there's nothing. So.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, Chris. I know it's not easy.
It's okay.
Okay, so that was her interview. Now, it was determined that Harmony had died and that they moved around with her. And when they were at the families in transition place, he put her in the ceiling and like stored her body up there. And then they went to court for it. They still have not located Harmony's body, but his ex-wife, Kayla, had to testify against him and said that at one point they were living in the car and Harmony would use the bathroom in the car because, I mean, they're living in the fucking car. There's no other place for the child to use the bathroom, and she's been through trauma. I mean, you know, so he would beat the shit out of her and smack her in the head because she wouldn't say, I need to use the bathroom, probably because she was scared to. And so he smacked her or punched her in the head a couple of times because she had an accident. And then they said that it was on the way back from the methadone clinic that morning or on the way to, and that she started making a weird noise. And then Kayla looked at him and said, I think something's really wrong. I think something's really wrong. And she died. And he put her in a duffel bag and was keeping her in the snow at some apartment. And then when they went to the families in transition, he put her body in the duffel bag in the ceiling. At one point, when he did have a job, he put her body in the refrigerator at work at some kind of fast food, not fast food, but like a restaurant. And eventually, he did get caught and arrested after Kayla left him, and he was with another girl. And he was arrested. They don't know where he put her body. Kayla said that he left and drove and said he was going to put her somewhere, and she doesn't know where he placed Harmony. So now now that we've talked about the case and I've kind of tried to break everything down, we're going to talk about this $2.25 million that she was awarded. So this article reads, New Hampshire to pay $2.25 million to mother of five-year-old killed by father, and that's Crystal. Now it says, one of two, Crystal Sorey, the mother of Harmony Montgomery, leaves court following a probate case hearing at Nashua Circuit Court in Nashua, New Hampshire, Monday, March 11th of 2024. So that was one of her hearings, and that's a picture of Adam leaving his Adam Montgomery arrives for his sentencing hearing at Hillsborough Superior Court Thursday, May 9th, 2024 in Manchester, New Hampshire. That's when he was convicted for what he did, I do believe. So it reads, New Hampshire has agreed to pay $2.25 million to the mother of Harmony Montgomery, a 5-year-old girl whose father was convicted of murdering her. Crystal Sorey filed a negligence lawsuit against the state last May, accusing social workers of ignoring the signs that her daughter was being physically abused by her ex-husband after he was awarded custody in early 2019. Adam Montgomery is serving a minimum of 56 years in prison after being convicted of murdering Harmony and moving her corpse around for months before disposing of it. Police believe he killed Harmony nearly 2 years before she was reported missing in 2021. Her body has never been found. The state does not admit any wrongdoing in the settlement agreement reached last month. Quote, the state agreed to these settlements to avoid prolonged litigation and support closure for the families. We recognize their profound loss and hope this brings some measure of peace, unquote, Attorney General John Formiglia said. In July, the state agreed to pay $5.7 million to the mother of a Laconia boy the state placed with a grandmother who is now charged with his 2019 death. In December, it settled with the father of 5-year-old boy Merrimack, killed by his mother in 2021. So there's 3 cases right there where the children had been killed by somebody they had been placed with, and that the state has to admit, they don't have to admit what they did was wrong. That's a problem for me. Considering what we sat here and read this whole stream about how Dimitri, Adam's friend, DCYF, screwed up so many times that it's evident to me that he was legitimately trying to cover this up. And they have to admit no wrongdoing. Not only in that, but there's also been money awarded to 2 other families of children that died because of the state's negligence. And we're not admitting that anybody did anything wrong here? My other issue is that she was dead 2 years before she was actually reported missing. And if Crystal had been more involved and tried to call and tried to do things a little bit sooner, I think something could have been done. Now, granted, she was trying to get up with him and she ended up having to write the mayor a letter to get anybody to listen to her. I get that. And I am glad that she ended up doing that, or we still might not know about this case. But I feel like she should have been more involved. And it is too tempting for an ex-addict, in my opinion. She took the $2.25 million and rolled out. And we're going to talk about her Facebook and my concerns. It says in 2018, the state created an Office of the Child Advocate to serve as an independent watchdog agency, but lawmakers are considering eliminating it in the next state budget. And that's all of that. Now, let's look at this Facebook. I had it pulled up, but it's not there. Hold on. So this is her Facebook. Okay. Now, the first picture, she's flipping somebody off. Okay. That's her pictures. Heavy filters, flipping somebody off. I don't think, I'm concerned. This was February 10th, January 5th. Oh, I'm going through. January 5th. See, that looks like her to me. But now, since being awarded that money, now she's skinny or lost a lot of weight. So we're going to talk about this. Anyone that laughs at my post about my daughter is getting blocked. People, she highlighted that you deserve every single penny of that statement. Oh, right here. Crystal Renee is feeling pissed off with Brittany. Quote, do not pull up. I promise you will be dealt with the legal way. I do not need to answer to nobody but God. So let's see what she has to say.
We'll be taking you to court because I don't fucking play. I just want everyone to know that if you come to my house where my son lays his head at, you will be dealt with by the police. And then I will be taking you to court. Because I don't fucking play about where my son lays his head and whether he's safe or not.
Why are we on here cussing people? Well, we're going to talk about
Going
that.
up to my house questioning me like you have some fucking authority. Get the fuck out of here.
Bam.
You know what that means? I'm gonna have to get me registered.
What?
Because I ain't fucking playing.
Why even respond to the bullshit? I mean, if you're that upset about it, why are we even responding? So let's talk about what she's responding to, and we'll come back up and look at those videos. So right here, listen to this. For all the fucking idiot losers out there that want to run their fucking mouth about my settlement, $750,000 of that money is going to her brothers. All 4 of them to be exact. So you're giving money to Adam and Kayla's children too? Like, and I would like to see that actually happens if that's what you're going to do. I think you're just running your mouth to try to make yourself look better, because I think that she's not going to give a damn thing to anybody. So you want to share something around, share this. You people fucking know nothing. Shut your fucking cum guzzlers. Okay, thanks. P.S. I'm not posting legal documents because I don't have to, so suck it. She is, in my opinion, this shows a level of immaturity that is off the damn charts. I don't think she's mature enough to have money like that, making posts like that and videos like that. If you got people fussing at you about your settlement or whatever, why not block them? Why are we doing all these fucking this shit? This one says, May 25th, I just don't understand why grown-ass men, old-ass men, feel the need to go on my page and share my video. Mind your motherfucking lives all the way in Georgia. Get a fucking life. What is this? Yeah, old man, pass it around because people are fucking slow. People are fucking slow and think that I shouldn't have sued the state. If nobody sues them, then they get away with it. They got away with it because they don't have to admit any wrongdoing because you settled. They wouldn't have settled if they did nothing wrong. You people are fucking dumb. Stop worrying about my life and worry about your own. And that's that person that said something to her. But the state doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing. And that's when she starts posting the flip me off thing.
Imagine everyone being so mad about my video and they're just making me go viral. Imagine everyone being so mad about my video and they're just making me go viral.
I mean, Um, let's see. Where's her other video? Let's find it. There are so many slow-ass demented hoes in Haverhill. Ew. Like, you're not mature enough. I don't know, man. She references having her son in the house. Hoes bonding off my name. I want to see her videos. So again, where was I when Harmony was given to Adam at a CMP hearing for my son Jameson? Okay, let me try to see if I can find her videos. Oh, no. Hold on. Hold on just a minute. Her name is Cries Renee, Cries Duh. Okay, so we saw that one. Don't pull up.
You said not to worry, I know. I can play games if you want. Or I should just pack you in, not gonna.
This might be taken out of the video because it's playing music. Actually, I'll mute it. So she's dancing to a song, smoking a vape, trying to look cute. Like, how is this benefiting Harmony at all? Yeah, exactly. She's making herself look bad. She is, Paramandy. She's sick. She's immature. Her daughter is that right. How is this benefiting Harmony? Like, I get it. I know the state messed up real bad, but how does this benefit Harmony? And I saw another one where she was riding in a car, her damn shorts all pulled up. She had a fucking lifesaver in her mouth, trying to show her, I don't know what. So, this is 10 weeks ago.
Hey guys, I'm at Designer Eyes to get my eyebrows laminated and my lashes. So, we'll see how this goes.
You need to fire your damn person that's doing that, in my opinion.
Yes. We're running out of bedrooms. We're out of bedrooms. We have 4. We're at capacity. Let's do April 2nd. Okay. 10:15. Give us this.
I'm concerned, and I don't understand how this how helps Harmony. Hey, Minion. Hey, Hannah. Good to see you. Jenny Jen says she's probably still hurting until we personally go through it. God forbid, we will never understand. And I get it. I don't know, man. I get it. I wanted to see what she posts. No matter what, I will never again let anyone convince me I'm crazy or insecure for having a normal reaction to their hurtful behavior. Stay humble. We saw that where she updated the flipping we off videos. Nothing you people say is going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. Stay mad, shitbags, with the kiss face. Like, I don't know. To be fair, her hold on. This has pictures of Harmony. I'm just concerned. I mean, I question whether she does. Like, what are we doing? What are we going to do with the money? Why are we posting, videos, responding to the hate, flipping people off? They don't have to admit they did anything wrong. There's nothing in there like about a organization or something to try to help Harmony or something being set up in her name. Like, and I have concerns about her being an addict, like because not okay. I want to be very careful. My concerns are that she's going to use again just because she shows a level of immaturity. Now, whether she does or not is only up to her. Nobody can say or do anything to change that. But I hope and pray that she uses that for good things and that her daughter is remembered forever in it and by it. I mean, I think by reading the documents, as you heard me do today, she had every right to do what she did. I do. 100%. But she's not innocent in this, as she said in the video. She's very much culpable for what happened as well. Yeah, college fund, something. It's definitely doing too much. Right. Just to get attention. Another great advocate on the street. Yep. It is, and you just got to try not to respond. Sometimes I myself respond to hate comments, but I mean, I'm not going to get on here and like flip people off and cuss people out. Like, come on now, what are you doing? I don't, it's just immature in my opinion, but you know. Mercedes said, let's hope part of the settlement included a clause about mandatory. Oh, Lord. I don't want to go that far. She does have another son, she said. I don't want to go that far now, but I think there should have been something in there about, you know, them having to admit what they did was wrong, them having to reevaluate and go over some of their procedures and change some things. Like, that's concerning. Kalisa said, but she isn't required to spend the money on what we think she should legally, morally, maybe. You're right. You're right. She can do whatever she wants to with it. She is not required to do a damn thing that anybody says. You're right. And that's why I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you about it and kind of get your thought processes on it. Just as I said, look at this behavior for her dead daughter. Right. There's not, I mean, we're on Facebook attacking haters, and I want to hear more about Harmony and what you're going to do. Are we going to set up something to memorialize her? I would like to see receipts about what she's given to the boys or whatever if she's going to do that, because I feel like she's just saying it to get people to hush, but I don't know. I'm not there. I don't see. I don't know. Excuse me. It's good to see you, Mercedes. There must be some consequences for CPS and a change to practice. Right. I mean, for me, it would be. Blood money. I think that, again, I want to reiterate, as we read through the documents, we saw all the things that DCF did that were wrong, and how many, 17 times, they could have stepped in and possibly saved Harmony. Like, I get it. I think that somebody should be held accountable for that, 100%. But I feel like it should have been mandatory that certain things be done if she was given that money. And the other people, the other two families that I mentioned that were given money, I feel like it should be mandatory that some changes happen to CPS and that it benefit the other children involved, like she claims she's going to do. Some kind of memorial set up to honor that child. Right. I hope not, Cracker. I hope the money's not gone in a year. I hope that she has enough common sense to do something with it that's beneficial and to try to make things better. But I'm concerned that she's not because of her maturity level. Yeah, there are no real heroes in this tragedy. You're right. I'm on the fence about her getting the money, but the money turned her into a weirdo. You think so? I'm sure she'll be paying a good chunk to the lawyers. Oh, yeah, that's true, Janie. That's true. The system is drained due to too many shit people, as Abellis would say, yeah. The prosecutor and tons of police that were there every day. Certain things attached to the money, right. The fact is that she even got a settlement from CPS is a win. The fact that she even got a settlement from CPS is a win because it's almost impossible to sue them and win, even with tons of evidence. So, yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah. Yeah, common sense is not always common. So, I don't know. Like, reading this again, for all the fucking idiot losers out there that want to run their fucking mouth about my settlement, 750,000 is going to her brothers, all four of them to be exact. So you want to share something around, share this. You people know fucking nothing. Shut your fucking cum guzzlers. Like, why do we got to be so graphic? Why we got to do that? In my opinion, the money should have gone to Harmony's younger brother if the mom actually wanted to make a difference. Right. And I hope that, like she says in this post, that she does send it to her brothers. I really do. It says, under reading this, state of New Hampshire settles wrongful death lawsuit with mother of Harmony Montgomery for $2.25 million. Under the terms of this settlement, the state doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing or unlawful conduct. Crystal Sorey, Harmony's mother, filed the lawsuit in September of 2024 for the, quote, senseless and preventable death, unquote, of her daughter. I mean, I agree that it was senseless and preventable, but why are we making it where the state doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing in this situation? They should, or unlawful, they should absolutely have to admit to that, in my opinion. I don't believe she's giving them boys $750,000 either. To speak that way about a settlement for your daughter who was unalived is gross. Right, Red Moon, thank you. It'd be $187,500 for each of the four. I hope she does, but I feel like it's just talk. Because of the way the post is worded, you know? For all the fucking idiot losers out there that want to run their fucking mouth about my settlement, and then she says that money is going to her brothers. It's like you're trying to get people to feel bad or feel guilty for saying something to you by presenting them with, well, I'm giving that money to their brothers, so you need to just shut the fuck up. Like, I would like to see some receipts. And I would like to see something done to remember Harmony at the end of the day. Phew, I know this has been a long one, especially reading these documents. I know it's been hard. I appreciate y'all being here with me and hanging out. Again, I won't be live tomorrow because I will be at my baby's graduation. So I will miss y'all terribly, but I will be back on Friday. Bad Girl said, is she going to buy Harmony a headstone and a place of rest? That's what I'm wondering. Like, can we at least get that? Maybe something to memorialize her in her favorite place or somewhere that you can go, because Adam's never going to tell where you put her. I hope to God, I pray that he threw her out of the car or something and she is found eventually. But judging by Adam's character, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. She does need to clean up her act in my position. I mean, in my opinion, not position. Lori said her production with the flipping fake ass shit, she needs to shut the fuck up. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I hope that y'all enjoy the day tomorrow too. And I love you all so much. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And thank you for the support. Oh my God, y'all come in dropping memberships left and right. Speaking of, while I'm down there tonight, I'm going to try to get, I got a couple of videos about the garden I need to get out. One of them, I kind of need to finish a couple of them, but I'll try to get one of them out at least, even if it's not all the way finished. So, said that y'all have something. Thank you. I hope the weather will be good too. I've been concerned because it's been raining for days. Oh, okay. Well, no pressure, but yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys. Well, until then, I love you all. If nobody has told you, you are enough, you are important, you are special, and you are loved. And thank you all so much. I really appreciate y'all more than you know. I always say, I could talk to myself for hours, but it would be nothing without all of you. So thank you. I hope y'all have the best day ever tomorrow, and I'll see y'all Friday. Love you. Bye.